witches.
So, apparently I'm a witch.
She's a witch.
I'm the love witch.
I am a witch.
I am a witch.
So just came out.
Now the witch is back.
I'm here, hang on. Hang on. I'm here. Hello. Hello everybody, good evening. Welcome to Beyond Authentic, where we're going to be doing some tarot reading tonight. Sorry, I just had to get another memory foam cushion because I'm now sat on it awkwardly. Hang on. Because my poor bum, I've lost weight off my bum, which means that which means my coccyx is very sore at the moment. I know, right? Very, very sore at the moment. And I've just been sat for an hour with the members only, having a really interesting chat about life, the universe and everything. Well, I say I was chatting. I found it interesting. I don't know if anybody else did. But yeah, I want to use tonight, by the way, good evening. If you want a tarot reading, we'll be doing that very, very shortly. I want to use tonight my couple of oracle decks that I picked up from, that came with the Witch Casket subscription service. So what I mean by that is we've got the Intuitive Insights Oracle and the Higher Self card deck. I'm going to be pulling these randomly throughout the night as well. I've also got the Urban Crow Oracle deck, and I've even got the Missing Witches, deck of oracles as well. So I've got a few decks of oracle cards on the table. I've got my Fifth Spirit Unfolding Path sat there, but for whatever reason I don't want to use that today. I wanted to use another deck, but can I find it? Can I heck? Oh, I've got it, it's there. Found it. I found it. My Poppy Palin deck. So we might be using that tonight as well. So let me just have a wee little look. I need to just bring up the chat from YouTube. Unfortunately, I can't do this while in advance. I have to wait until the channel is actually live. And it won't let me pull it up from that screen either, because why would you allow that to be a thing? Bear with, here we go. YouTube, you don't make this easy, you know that. You don't make it easy going from one live stream into the next. Here we go, and I need to pop out the chat and put it on my secondary screen and make this nice and big so I can read it, and the thing you can click it on, if that makes sense. There we go. Right, back into my software and change the settings so I can pick up this live chat. There we go. Hurrah, it works. Takes a little while every time, but I get there in the end. I know, right? I was just finishing up. I went slightly over. I was talking about all sorts of random shizzle tonight. Please don't forget to do the YouTubey things. Yes, please do. Hit the subscribe button. Dong your bell, so that YouTube lets you know whenever I go live or upload a video. I have filmed the Witch Casket for August, and I've got September's one to review as well. That is here as well. And would anybody on this channel be interested in me talking about and going through some of the witchy tarot, witchy Lego type stuff that I am slowly developing a massive love for? If you would, let me know. I keep showing it to the members. I don't know if anyone there's interested, but no one said, Lisa, we're bored of this shit yet. Oh, shiz, yeah. Shiz. Like the university, shiz. Exactly. I feel like I'm really far away from the desk. I'm not. It's just I need to move things. Anyway, how is everybody doing? Good evening, everybody. Thanks for the reminder. You always get that. Oh, you always forget. I know, right? Good evening, Neil. Good evening, Holland. Good evening, Ed. Good evening, Dormouse. Hello, my darling. Hope you're well. Good evening to Ramesh. Good evening to... Who else has popped in? Oh gosh, hang on a second. What's happened? My chat jumped. Wow. Thought you said you lost weight. I did. Off your thumb for a split second. No, off me bum. I lost weight off me bum. That's why my coccyx is so sore. If you don't know what the coccyx is, I'm not being rude. It's not a smutty thing. It's your tailbone. So because I've lost weight off my tailbone, off me bum, sorry, it makes my tailbone a wee bit more painful, if that makes sense. So yes, let me just do a zoom. There we go. Hopefully that still looks good on camera. There we go, that's better. You found a wonderful weak glass yesterday in Awesome Arts and Craft Shop with a crow and red rose. Oh, that's awesome. That's really cool. A wee, not a week. Oh no, that is awesome. That sounds lovely. How's Grumpy and Roo? Exactly. Thank you very much for popping the messages in the chat. Look at this. Why is that one highlighted green? I've got no idea why that's highlighted green on my screen. The only guaranteed way to get a reading is to send a super chat of any amount. Exactly. 100% to the witch Lego. Okay, Neil. I will go through all of my witchy figures because I've got the first ever, I think, magician, and I've got lots of other ones. This is so cool. I'm so obsessed. Oh, that sounds awesome. I love it when you find really interesting, cool things. Good evening to Shannon. Pain's been a tad uncomfortable. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh my God, everything. Right, everybody is feeling poorly. It's Grumpy's birthday on the 29th, so he's very grumpy. Oh, I hope you're okay. Because... No, I hope Grumpy's okay. That's what I was trying to say. And I hope you're okay. If he's grumpy until his birthday, I always get grumpy around my birthday as well. So, you know, yeah, I hope everybody feels better with you. Random question. Could you remind you what my super duper webcam is called? Hang on, I can. It's on this software. Insta360 is the one I use. Insta360. And there might be a specific one. Hang on. Has it got a... Is there a bit that tells me which one it is? Insta360 link. Sorry, there you go. Insta360 link. I should probably link it in the chat, shouldn't I? One of those things where, you know, if someone goes and buys it, I get lots of points or something. I don't know. Everyone seems to be having health issues at the moment. I know. Poor Rufus needs his neck operation. I've got my eye... I've had one laser job. I've got 4 more lasers because they need to do the second eye. And so next time I go, they're going to do left eye and right eye. I'll be like that. I can't see anything, which will be a nightmare. And I've got the cancer stuff going on and my coccyx stuff going on. Oh no, right, I'm falling apart. You love my top. Thank you very much. It's from Killstar from a couple of years ago. It's nice and fitting comfortably now. Look, because I've lost some weight. Look how nice it's fitting. Look, you can see. Look, it's baggy. Look, it used to be like that, almost see-through, and now it's. I know, right? Look at me, finally getting control of my diet after years. Right, hang on. I've got to move this big bag of witch casket gubbins out of the way because I can't put my chair where I want it to go because I've got that sat there under the desk. So I need to move that out of the way. Lisa, don't get distracted. But what is this bag? Oh yeah, more autumnal handbags for me to try. Right, now then, if I now bring this in close, I should be able... Don't get distracted, Lisa. Don't get distracted with your ADHD brain. But there we go. Oh, yeah, that's better. That's better. I'm looking amazing. I'm looking great. Am I? I'm just losing the weight. I need to. About bloody time, isn't it? There we go. I feel a bit more comfortable now. So I'm going to light a candle. Again, we're going to use the white candle because have I sorted out my candles this week? No, didn't do it. But I'm going to light a candle for healing magic for anyone and everyone who needs it, who is connected in whatever way to this lovely channel of ours, however spuriously. That's a nice word, isn't it? However that connection, however weak that connection may be. Oh, here we go. Just dig the wax out from the previous candles. Do I have the bin handy? Of course I don't. That would make too much sense, Lisa. We'll just put the dead wax in that dead candle that needs washing before I use it anyway. Right, here we go. So, we're going to light a candle, and we are lighting the candle explicitly for healing purposes. And we're going to ask the lovely Gaia, here we go. We're going to ask Gaia for, in her name and in the name of Hygeia, we specifically are bringing in Hygeia for the healing energy that she allows and that she works. So we're bringing in Hygeia, the goddess, and again, a lot of my healing journey, a lot of my weight loss journey, if you like, is dedicated. I wouldn't say dedicated to the goddess, but is dedicated to the archetype of that healing goddess. If you know me, you know I am obsessed with the Empress from the tarot decks, and the Empress is very much about the Empress is very much in that healing. I just dripped candle wax on me, right on the little crease bit there, so you know this is going to be bloody hell, an effective candle working, because that's the way it always works with me. If it's effective, then I end up in a little bit of pain, because I do believe you give of yourself when we practice magic. I believe that very, very firmly. Also, that is what I believe when we are doing the collecting plants and leaves and things from nature. I too give of myself a little bit, whether that's a little bit of fluid from, you know, a cut, that red stuff that YouTube doesn't like me mentioning. Come on, candle, why aren't you dripping? But you know, either way. Right, just sit in there then. Okay, that will hold. There we go. Good. Candles lit. Hygeia, we ask for the healing energy. We ask that you help and bring healing energy to all those who need it, connected with me and the channel on this lovely Sunday evening, on Maybon's Eve. I ask that this be right and for the good of all. I ask that this be in the name of Hygeia, the goddess of hygiene and healing. And I ask that this be right and for the good of all. Okay. Specifically, I ask for healing There we go. Right, okay, let's crack on with some tarot. If anybody does need healing, that is now designated a healing candle in honor of Hygeia. Send it your way and do the do if you need that energy. Right, let's crack on. So then, we do tarot on this channel, and tonight I will be doing some oracle pulls as well. If you would like a tarot reading, there are two ways to get it. The first way is to go ahead and pop your question in the chat. Don't do it yet. Wait until you hear this sound. when that happens, it means it is time to get your question into the live chat. Start your question with the word question, and then one of those will get selected at random. Okay, it is completely random, and I've got no control over that. One of the mods, the keeper of the questions, does that for me. If, however, you do want to guarantee that you get a reading today, you can do so by sending your question in the form of a super chat. That comes through automatically, and what will happen is I will then read for that person. If more than one super chat comes in, then I will... Oh, I don't like it that far back. If more than one super chat comes in, then I will read them in the order that they turn up in, if that makes sense. So yeah, hopefully that's logical. Right, let me just, sorry, I've moved the thingy that the camera sits on a wee bit, and it means it's at a very odd angle, so bear with everybody. I thought it was a digital setting. Turns out it's an analog setting. There we go. Anyway, so then everybody, that's how you get a reading on this channel. If you would like a reading, we're going to go ahead and open the chat now. So yes, the first round is open. Please do pop your question in the live chat, starting with the word question. If you would like to guarantee that your question is up first, you know what you need to do. You need to go ahead and pop your question in the form of a super chat. Any amount will get you a reading. If you send it through for $10 or £8 or more, then you get that longer super reading. Okay, that is what you need to know. You've got about 30 seconds to get your questions in. Ask your question now. Send your question as a super chat to guarantee your 3-card reading is next. Donations of $10 or £8 or over will receive a longer 6 or 7 card reading. To try for a free reading, write your question in the live chat starting with the word question. If no super chats come in, a free question will be chosen at random. And if you need help, just ask one of our mods. Yes, indeed. You can always spot the mods on this channel. Not only are their names in blue, they also have a little spanner or a wrench next to their name. So it looks like we only actually received one question on that round, and that is from Shannon. So good evening, Shannon. Bear with me one moment. Again, I know, right? So far, this stream has been nothing but me sorting out how I'm sat comfortably. So yeah, absolutely. Thank you for that. Shannon is going to get the very first question of today's stream. So we are going through till 9 p.m. UK time. And I do have to say, just before Shannon, I do your reading, we have got a little bit of housekeeping that I will hit the magic button for just about here. Before we go on, here's the housekeeping. Tarot is for entertainment purposes only. You do make all of your own decisions about your own life. Tarot should never be used to replace medical advice, legal advice, financial advice, or counselling advice. If you're looking for support in these areas, please do seek out professionals in these areas. You do have to be 18 years of age or over to get a tarot reading on this channel. And remember, please don't share private information here or anywhere else on the internet that you wouldn't want anyone or everyone finding out about now or anytime in the future. Absolutely. Please be mindful of your private information. There's a reason it's called private. It's because you don't want that being displayed everywhere to everyone. Don't dox yourself on the internet. Right then, so I'm going to use, Shannon, for your reading, I'm going to use the Unfolding Path deck. Yep, I'm going to use the Unfolding Path deck, and we shall see how things go. So then, here we go. All right. Put the box there so I don't lose it. So then we're going to swap cameras over to the top-down camera. Make sure that the microphone is out of the way. There we go. I've got the crows or the ravens again today. Absolutely gorgeous tarot cloth. Love it an awful lot. I'm going to pop the question all the way down there in the corner. There we go. Right then. So as always, we cleanse first and we bring in Wispy. I'm very mindful. Mods, can you let me know how loud that bell ring is? Because what I could do is I could use this little one instead. So let me know. Right then, let's see where we are. So Wispy, Shannon is wanting a simple question. Is W returning to them? Is W returning to Shannon? Let's have a look. Is W returning to Shannon? I don't know who W is, but is W returning to Shannon? Here we go, Wispy. We're going to do your standard 3 card. Thank you, Neil. Sounds fine to you and you've got headphones in. Thank you. I do sometimes wonder how loud it is, especially with the microphone just there now. Right then, so where you are right now, what you need to know, oh, we've got the Page of Pentacles, we've got the 7 of Swords, and we've got the King of Swords. Right. So the Page, youthful energy. The Wallace. Okay, thank you, Wallace. Is Wallace returning to Shannon? The Page is youthful energy, so naive energy, childlike energy. It is in the form of Pentacles, which talks about work, career, finance, but it can also mean the amount of effort involved in a situation. Because for me, we look at the elements. I work tarot very, very firmly connected with that elemental energy, and of course Pentacles is earth energy, which for me is all about growth. It's also though often about grounding and keeping your feet on the ground. So I don't know quite why Wallace isn't around at the moment. It does feel like it was a juvenile issue, either something to do with somebody acting like a child or with an actual child in, if that makes sense. So yeah. Okay. Okay. What was I saying? Yeah, so it could be that there was a childlike or a very childlike or childish falling out that happened with that. The thing is, though, in what you need to know, we've got the 7 of Swords. 7s are all about difficult choices and difficult decisions. You can see this person is a bandit or a thief or some sort of robber type person, and this person here has made off with 5 of these gorgeous swords. However, they've left these 2 behind because they've got too much. They can't take everything, so they have to leave some behind. So the question is, Wallace Scarpard, what did they leave behind? What decision did they make? Are you the one that got left behind? If so, I think they made a decision that was right for them at the time, because also if Wallace is male, my darling, then we've got the King of Swords reversed. This king is not coming back. This king is reversed. This is the future and what's to come. King is reversed. Swords is trouble and strife. Swords is all about, as I say, trouble and strife, the obstacles, the challenges in life. And swords, the King of Swords is somebody who brings that trouble with them. The fact that this card's reversed either means that they got out of this relationship because it wasn't working for them, or, which I mean is an obvious thing, isn't it? Or they were so controlling or so determined to get their way that they know if they were with you, they wouldn't get their way. They wouldn't be allowed to get away with everything. So therefore, they've gone. This does not in any way, shape or form feel that he's coming back. If Wallace is male, right? Does not, absolutely does not feel as if W is returning to you. So I would say 100% no. Wallace won't be returning anytime soon. Bearing in mind, my reading only normally goes for about 6 weeks, 2 months. So you're looking at up until November time-ish. Doesn't mean there can't be some sort of reunion for Christmas, because, you know, people get into that sort of soppy, rose-tinted hindsight, don't they? Where we forget about how nasty somebody was, or we forget about how not great somebody was when it gets to Christmas time, and we suddenly go, oh, we really want to, like, but we should be together because it's Christmas, even though I hate your guts. It's still Christmas, isn't it? So yeah, there you go. I hope that helps, Shannon. It feels like all these 3 cards, all male energy, all about the same person, and it feels very much that they are off being a king, maybe with a new queen somewhere else, making, you know, a new populating a new castle, put it that way. I hope that helps. I really do. Sorry, my darling, it's not better news, but at least you've got the answers that you were hoping for. I always hate delivering news when it might not be what people want, but at the end of the day, forewarned is forearmed, and at least you have a clearer idea of what may be round the corner. So yeah, as I say, it definitely doesn't look as if this king is returning anytime soon. I will pull you one of these intuitive oracle cards, just because we'll pull a quick card, and let me swap that camera back. So here we go. This will be the lesson. This is your lesson to learn, my darling. This isn't W's thing. This isn't W's lesson, Wallace's lesson. This is your lesson to learn. So for whatever reason, the cards are saying that maybe it was your actions that meant that Wallace couldn't stay. It doesn't mean you are to blame. It doesn't mean that you've done anything wrong. It could just be that you established your healthy boundaries, and that wasn't the type of relationship that W wanted to be in, that Wallace wanted to be in. It could well be that for you there were red lines and lines in the sand and all of this, that you put those boundaries in place, and that Wallace couldn't work within those boundaries and has moved on to a new castle and a new queen that will. That is perfectly acceptable, my darling. It is perfectly fine. The fact that this is coming up with that lesson means it could be saying you are 100% right to put those boundaries in place. However, if there were things that you did looking back that you can recognize where perhaps you weren't as kind as you could be, as fair as you could be, that perhaps that lesson is be careful how you treat people, because sometimes they will have enough of being treated badly and go and find their new kingdom and their new queen. I hope that helps, my darling. I hope it brings you whatever insight that you were looking for. But that is going to be your reading today, my darling. Thank you very much for your question. Right, let's have a wee look in the chat. Good evening to Teresa Horton. Just hold off, my darling, until we open up another round. There'll be one coming very, very shortly. You think he looked like Adam and the Ants? Or Adamant from Adam and the Ants? Yeah, possibly. Off with a new queen. I do think he is off with a new queen, my darling. I think that is. I think the king has absolutely gone off and found his old queen. 18th century brain. I think it called that. My next is the 3-letter word beginning with S. What? What? I'm very confused. Stand and deliver your money or your life. Very true. Okay, my darling. There you go. You see, the cards know. The cards absolutely know. Thank you very much for your question, my darling. If you haven't done already, please do hit that lovely thumbs up button. It really helps the channel. And if you haven't done, subscribe. Hit the subscribe, ding the bell, subscribe, do all the YouTubey things. Thank you very much. Right then, shall we have another round I think we absolutely should. Just before we have another round though, I want to tell you about something called the Necronomicon. Now listen, this channel is not sponsored in any way, shape or form. We are not sponsored, but my brother from another mother, one of my best friends in the world, somebody I've known for more years than either of us care to admit to, is a major horror fan. He's an awesome human being, and he makes an awesome horror zine, which is all about those low budget 80s horrors. You know, when you used to get video rentals? It's all about that.
Legend has it that it was written by the Dark Ones.
It is coming. Necronomicon. Strange tales of the supernatural and the unearthly when the fabled Necronomicon unleashes its ancient secrets.
The secrets of the Necronomicon do not come cheap.
Necronomicon.
What's in the basket? Easter eggs?
Ask your question now. Send your question as a super chat to guarantee your 3-card reading is next. Donations of $10 or £8 or over will receive a longer 6 or 7 card reading. To try for a free reading, write your question in the live chat starting with the word question. If no super chats come in, a free question will be chosen at random. And if you need help, just ask one of our mods. Exactly, and if you don't know who the mods are, they have their names in blue with a little spanner next to them. So let's have a look. The song goes, 18th century brain in a 21st century head. Does it? And you can't do the other as it's classed as a bad word. Is it? I've got no idea. No idea whatsoever. So we didn't get a question that round. So if anybody does want a question, do please go ahead and just pop it in the live chat starting with the word question. We'll do that for a few minutes or so. And then if nobody else wants a question tonight, this might be an incredibly early finish. There we go. How will the Scorpio feel about seeing you again this week, Firebird? First of all, Firebird Paradise, good evening to you, or Parody. Good evening to you. I hope you are well. If you haven't already, do make sure you hit the subscribe button and dong your bell. That's really lovely. There we go. So then I will do your reading for you now, my darling. Let me go ahead and swap the camera over. I'm just going to move my drink. It looks like I'm drinking water, but I'm actually drinking... Oh, what was it? Oh, an energy drink. That's what it is. That's what it was. I wondered what I had for a second. So then, here we go. Let's do the reading. So as always, we're going to cleanse. I will say as well, we're at 1,430 odd subscribers to the channel, which is bonkers. I am planning a giveaway when we get to 1,500. So if you aren't subscribed, please do subscribe now. And if you're watching this on replay and you haven't subscribed yet, do please hit that subscribe button and share the videos with your friends. I'm here every Sunday, 7 p.m. UK time. Hopefully, once we get the cancer dealt with and out the way and everything returns to normal, then I will be here on a Tuesday evening as well. But for the time being, we're just here on Friday evenings. Sunday evenings. However, the members do get a they get an hour-long members-only chat every Sunday at 6. And on the last Friday of the month, which this month is on the 26th, we have a members only Friday night natter. That's very cool. I love the Friday night natters. They can be a couple of hours. The other day when Neil, the lovely guy who does the horror zine, when Neil was down visiting, we ended up doing a 4.5 hour live stream because Neil was sat next to me in the room. So we properly did a really long Friday night natter. Anyway, let's get Wispy on board. Wispy, good evening to you, my friend. Firebird Parody, I think that's how you say it, has a question. How will the Scorpio feel about seeing them again this week? How will the Scorpio feel about seeing Firebird Paradise or Firebird Paradis this week? How will they feel? Let's have a look. Feels like there's a whole load of backstory wrapped up in those few words, doesn't it? Doesn't it just? So then, here we go. So we're doing a 3-card read. Where you are right now. Ace of Pentacles, new starts, new beginnings. What you need to know, Queen of Swords. And what's to come, the 10 of Cups. Ooh, right. There's a lot going on, my darling. I said it sounded interesting. There's a lot going on. So where you are right now, or where the Scorpio is right now, they have started something new. Aces are all about new starts, new beginnings, new projects, new ventures, new. In this case, it's either about a new growth period in their life, so they are starting to lay down new roots and think about long-term future, or it could be a new job, a new financial opportunity. There is something here around either a new situation or a new job career, if that makes sense. And situation, I mean, you know, they might have moved house, they might have, you know, started a new relationship, started a new course of study, something that they are looking at growing as the years go on. They're putting down these roots, these feelers into the soil to ground them whilst they are also growing, you know, into themselves or growing in the future. As I say, Pentacles, a lot of tarot readers will read Pentacles purely as work, career, finance. Oh gosh, that was a weird intake of breath. I do believe finances and work, career options can come into play with this, so it could be something like that as well. But for me, Pentacles very much I lean with all of the tarot into that elemental reading as well. Talking of which, what you need to know, we've got the Queen of Swords. Now, she is not a loving, cuddly, granny type character, is she? She is not that, you know, Queen Elizabeth II type. I mean, I know that she wasn't particularly caring, but, you know, she wasn't that sort of Queen Mum type character where she was soft and vulnerable, even though she wasn't in real life. But do you know what I mean? This is a stern queen. This is a bit of a battle axe. This is somebody who knows exactly what she has to do to maintain her position. Is it flashing a little bit of thigh? Is it doing the old Sharon Stone as she crosses her legs? Is it using that sword? Or is she sending the raven to go and seek knowledge and to be the spy? What is this queen's motive? I tell you one thing, the swords represents challenges and obstacles, and she is a huge challenge and obstacle to the Scorpio, right? Huge challenge. It could be wife energy, mother energy. It could even be female boss energy. If this is a work related new start, it could be a female boss who is, it's not that she's going to be causing issues, but she's going to be causing issues. I don't know why I said it's not, because that is exactly what she's doing. And she will be the biggest issue that Scorpio has right now. So when they see you this week, there will be a lot of emotions, but whoever this person is going to remain very much on Scorpio's mind. Thank you, Wispy. The reason I'm saying on Scorpio's mind is because the trouble and strife element comes in, but also swords is often seen, because it's an air element, it's thoughts, it's plans, it's that sort of you know, the thought process, if you like, that the dreaming process, all of that we go through, that isn't emotional, but can be slightly more studied and also a little more negative. That is what this energy relates to. What's to come, a lot of tarot readers will tell you this card is all about joy. It is, but it's more than that, because it is Pentacles, but it is the 10 of Pentacles. Now, Other readers will say, oh, look, this is the end game. It's so happy, joyous, woo. It is. But for me, 9s are full. The 9 of a suit is full. The 10 overflows. So this card is going to be an incredibly emotional week when Firebird sees you. There's going to be an outpouring of emotions, almost too much emotions, if that makes sense. Far too much emotion. There's going to be massively mixed feelings. Yes, a lot of happiness, a lot of romantic energy, because Cups is all about that romantic vibe. We've got the water energy, water element that Cups brings, which again is dealing with emotion. So again, we've got that emotional power coming in. But the 10s for me, it's going to feel almost overwhelming. And the thing is, I don't know what your connection is with the Scorpio, but it feels like this person here, this Queen of Swords, is going to be a stumbling block for how Scorpio feels, right? Because she's causing that upset, right? So I don't know. Hang on one second. I don't know whether you're in a relationship with the Scorpio. Right, do you know what? I'm just going to say what I'm thinking, right? Because Wispy is giving it to me and I'm not giving you the information that he's giving me. Hang on one second. I just need to not restart Windows. Thank you, Wispy. Wispy is my elemental dragon that connects with the Akashic records to get me information, right? So it's like my guide. I'll put the link to what the dragons are in the chat. There's a whole podcast episode. But I don't know whether, if you and Scorpio have been in a relationship and Scorpio has moved away for work or started a new job or somehow been promoted into something and he's away from you for some reason, then I am getting the strongest vibe that this person is in play in terms of relationship. And what I mean by that is, it could be that Scorpio is having an affair with this person. It could be that Scorpio, you and Scorpio aren't together in that way. Maybe you're platonic friends, or maybe you are, you know, seeing each other, but nothing's been firmed up, in which case this Queen is making a play. If you two are in a committed relationship, then be very careful as to who this woman represents. Keep your wits about you, okay? If your spidey sense says, I think Lisa might be right, I think there's something happening, right? If your spidey sense, if your intuition gets that feeling, then listen to it, okay? Again, I don't know your relationship with the Scorpio. If it is more on the platonic side, or if it is less of a committed relationship, then it may be that you've missed out. If it is that you are just friends with the Scorpio, then, and again, I don't know what the Scorpio's gender is, but if it is that you two are friends, then I think if you two are just friends, right, this is how it plays out. If you two are just friends, then the Queen of Swords is going to be someone that's trying to come between your friendship. If you two are seeing each other, but aren't committed, you know, just you two, what's the word I'm looking for? Monogamous. Yeah, if you two aren't monogamous, then she will represent someone else that he's seeing who may be absolutely wanting a monogamous relationship with him, a committed one-on-one. If you two are committed, then really watch out for this woman. If you two are in a long-term or committed relationship, you really want to watch out for this woman, because it does feel very much like she is going to be causing some problems. Okay. Overall, this mixed emotion card, be careful, because it feels like his emotions are going to bubble over a lot. It may be that this queen is just somebody who's made a play for him and made him realize what he wants with you, if you two are in that sort of relationship. Whoever it is, whatever it is, you need to be aware of her, right? And you need to be wary of her, because when it comes down to swords, this bitch don't play. She does not play, right? She doesn't play. I hope that helps, my darling. I'm going to pull you an oracle card as well. Let me put these randomly back into the deck, and I will grab the intuitive insight card. Shall we use that? I'll tell you what, I'm not going to use those ones. I'm going to use the other witch casket deck that I have on my desk, which is the higher self card deck. Do we want that? No, I'll tell you what, we're going to stick with the intuitive insights. You don't need to connect your higher self. You need to see what's happening with the Scorpio, don't you? And again, if I've got Scorpio's gender wrong, because there's nothing in the cards that says he, it just gives me that feeling. But masculine energy can come in all sorts of forms. So it could be a woman, it could be a non-binary person that just presents with that masculine energy. You know, the cards don't discriminate. The cards see people exactly how they see themselves. So there is no gender bias within tarot. There we go. Right then, so your intuitive insight card is growth. This is going to be, whatever else happens, this is a growth lesson. Now, growth is very much, this is emotional growth. So this is going to be, whatever happens when you meet again this week, or whatever this reconnection is this week, it's going to be a growing period. Now, one thing I would say, we call growing pains for a reason, right? Growth, we grow muscle by hurting our muscles, by overusing them, and we build more muscle because our bodies then send all the stuff to make more muscle to fill in the gaps that we've just caused. Okay, growth can be incredibly hard, and sometimes when we're talking about relationships, it can be incredibly difficult. So it could be that you need to go through a period of support to be able to get to that growth. Thank you very much for your support. What's that? The flying monkey? You've never noticed the flying monkey? Yeah, I've had it since before I got Alphaba, the doll. Yeah, he's just, I think he was from one of those crane machines. I think you must have been there when we got him. Absolutely was. It might not have been from crane machine, but probably was ages ago. I can't remember. But anyway, Firebird, I hope that helps. Sorry, my other half just came and dropped me off a coffee. Thank you, Rufus. Love you. Right then. Oh, hang on. You're a sub. Yes, thank you. He recently got, so he's a he. He recently got permanent with his job. So it's like new salary and opportunity. Ooh. It could be the woman who wants to get with him and come between us. Absolutely. If it's not his boss, absolutely, she wants to get between you. 100%. If there's somebody doing that, oof. He gets on with his boss and will be careful, but it's the mutual co-worker who can be jealous. I feel she sort of controls him too and can be trouble for him. Oh, yes. You had a romantic interest until this woman forced herself in and tried to block us. You've been keeping an eye on her. She's been trying to sabotage your reputation too. Well, I think she's doing a good job of it. Scorpio is a he. Thank you. And thank you so much. That's no problem at all, my darling. Do be very careful. be very careful, because that Scorpio, that Queen of Swords energy is the Scorpio guy, is he a little bit alternative-y thinking, as in maybe into a little bit of gothy stuff, darker stuff, witchy type stuff? If he's into anything like that, Queen of Swords, those women, people, are often into that sort of thing. The Queen of Swords can often represent, like, she could come up representing me depending on, you know, what the spread was. I tend to get things more like Queen of Pentacles or Empress for me, but invariably Queen of Swords could represent, as I say, that I would say represents that woman 100%. I really would. It really does feel that. Right, okay, be careful. He's into spiritualism and shamanism. She will be, if she isn't that gothy femme fatale, sort of emo gothy type, do you know what I mean? That alternative, what do they call it? Dark wave or something? If she isn't basically goth, if she isn't like that out on the outside, then be careful, because if she's like that on the inside and is kind of like, you know, just has that slightly dangerous vibe about her, you know what I mean? That slight alternate girl edge, she could be very alluring to him. Very alluring. Because Scorpios, with that sting in the tail, Scorpios are known to be a little bit not all fluffy, if that makes sense. She behaves like a man. The thing you're picking up from that is that strength. That Queen of Swords gives Ellen Ripley vibes and Sarah Connor vibes. It's that strong, very strong survivalist female character. It is that, you know, Jamie Lee Curtis vibe. Do you know what I mean? That I can survive this, I will survive this, I have survived this. It's that strong woman vibe that she gives. If you say she comes across like a man, it's not that, it's the strength that you are picking up from that. But that may be something that he absolutely is drawn to. Be careful, my darling, be careful. Whatever happens when you see him this week, just keep your wits about you. And just, I would say, maybe even have a bit of a clarifying statement as to see where you two, a clarifying chat to see where you two stand. With that, my darling, I'm going to say thank you very much for your question. I hope it helps. Again, you know, it doesn't feel like it's the news that you wanted to hear. I can only give you what the cards are giving me. But yeah, with that growth and that heart card coming up as well, it could be that you need to have that chat and both lay out all your cards on the table. Be very honest how you feel about this person, and if you are interested in something a bit more committed and a bit more longer term, say it. Want something, see something is almost the phrase. Anyway, I really hope that helps. Thank you very much for your question, Firebird, and yeah, thank you for being here. Right then, everybody, so I am going to take a swig of my coffee because it smells delicious. Oh, this is one of my new mugs. Witches be witches. Don't you love it? It was from TK Maxx, or TJ Maxx as they call it in the States, and it holds like a pint of coffee or something, or other fluids, but for me, a good pint of coffee, just what the doctor ordered. It really is. Right then, so we're going to do another round. Don't forget, any money that we make on this channel, whether it's through super chat, super thanks, memberships, anything like that, 10% we send to the PDSA, which is the People's Dispensary for Sick Animals here in the UK. They are basically the go-to charity for people who need veterinary care, who might not be able to afford it in that moment, because there's nothing worse, is there, than your bestest fur baby four-legged friend needing an expensive operation and you not having the 800, 2,000 pounds, whatever it is right now. And you can get pet insurance Unfortunately, our oldest doggo is now too old to get cover for pet insurance. So she's no longer covered. So if anything was to happen to her, touch wood, it doesn't for a long, long time. But if anything did happen to her, we would probably struggle to find, you know, a couple of grand straight off the bat. In fact, there's no probably about it. We would absolutely struggle. So the PDSA help people like that. They also are the charity that help when if you find a stray dog or a cat that's been knocked over, or not necessarily even a stray dog, if you find a dog that's been hit by a car on the side of the road, you know, they will do that emergency care. And also with wild animals, if you find a fox, for instance, or a fox cub, say you found a fox cub in your garden and it looks to be in a little, you know, a state of illness, or it's been attacked or something, then they would be the people that would care for that animal. They're an amazing charity. And also from September onwards, we are also donating 10% to Fight Bladder Cancer, which is one of the bladder cancer charities here in the UK. I think last time we did it for Bladder Cancer UK, this time I'm doing it for Fight Bladder Cancer, because my bladder cancer has in fact come back and we're waiting for it to be zapped and gone. Anyway, that's where the money goes. The rest of it goes into paying for the upkeep on the channel, to be honest. But there you go. Right, shall we have another round? I think it's time. Oh, there we go. I don't know what happened there. I was just saying that if you have already asked a question, please do pop it in the live chat again. I don't go back through the chat and go looking at those. I don't know why that happened. I didn't press anything. So I don't go back through the chat looking at messages that have already been put in. Every time we open a round, you've got to do that a new time. I will play the little jingle in a second. I did just say to Dormouse, cheers with coffee. You did the bedroom and the hall polish. Reward is another coffee. Do you want to come down to Yorkshire and do ours? Because that offer is there, my darling. If you want to come to Yorkshire and tidy our bedroom and polish the hall, you might of course have to tidy the hall and the bedrooms before you put the polish in. But if you want to come and do housework, feel absolutely free, my darling. Out of the kindness of my heart, Dormouse, I would open my home for 2 hours for you to come and clean it. I would do that for you, my darling. I would even make you 2 cups of coffee, one before you start and one when you finish. How about that? I would give you the opportunity to clean my mess for me. Isn't that kind of me, from the goodness of my heart? Anyway, if you would like a reading, I'm only joking. If you would like am I? Yeah. If you would like a reading, please do go ahead and pop your question in the live chat, and do that just about now. Ask your question now. Send your question as a super chat to guarantee your 3-card reading is next. Donations of $10 or £8 or over will receive a longer 6 or 7 card reading. To try for a free reading, write your question in the live chat starting with the word question. If no super chats come in, a free question will be chosen at random. And if you need help, just ask one of our mods. Indeed, do ask any of the mods. And as I always say, the mods are the ones in blue. They are in blue with a little wee spanner next to their name. You love polishing. You love polishing. There's no surfaces. Every surface that needs polish currently has crap on it. So anyway, that's my ADHD. Amazing amount of steps. Yes, Ed, that is truly bonkers. 11,000 steps with a mead. It does feel worth it. It does, doesn't it? Michelle, your question was up, my darling. Teresa, select and copy your question. Get it ready for the next round. Okay, my love. So, Michelle, question, is Leo M going to reach out to me? Is Leo M going to reach out to me? Let's have a look. So, as always, we cleanse. There we go. Do love this tarot cloth with the ravens on. So then, let's have a wee look. Wispy. Here we go. Wispy. Michelle would like to know, is Leo M going to reach out to me? I'm going to just put the candle snuffer on this candle behind me, because otherwise I'm in danger of setting fire to the entire flat. As it is, I've just spilt candle wax everywhere, but you know, such is the witch's life. Such is life. I knew I was going to do that. I knew I was going to do that. I knew it, I knew it, I knew it. Right then. Is the Leo M going to reach out to Michelle? Oh my gosh. I love the fact everybody's putting star sign information in. I don't do star signs. I wouldn't know a Aquarius from a Sagicorn. Capritarian. Right, okay. Wispy has tried to make cards jump all the way through my shuffling. This card is absolutely jumped. I tried to ignore the other ones because it was just my shuffling. This star card absolutely, very determinedly flipped and sat there. And my brain just got, stop! Almost from Rocky Horror. Stop! Don't get hot and flustered. Right then, so what happens? What does it mean when a card flips? On this channel, we call it the clarifying or modifying card. And what it does is exactly what it says on the tin. It clarifies or modifies this, the other three cards I'm about to lay down. Okay? And what that does is it literally puts a lens that we look at the cards through. And this is the star. Now, what is the star all about? First of all, it's a major arcana card. Major is basically a set of the cards that have the names. So it's like the Fool, the Lovers, the Devil, the Death card, the whatever. Star is one of them. So it's a big shouty card. Star, for me, represents a little bit of wishful thinking, a little bit of navel gazing perhaps, but also setting goals and setting ideas. Now, when it's reversed, it's that wishful thinking. What is it? If wishes were horses, I would have a kingdom. No, I've completely misquoted and messed that up. But you know what I mean. You can wish for anything. It doesn't do anything if you just wish for it. Oh, I wish I was. Oh, I wish I was a thingy with flowers in my hair. I wish I was a... Oh, help me out, chat. Oh, I wish I was a pop star with flowers in my hair. Oh, what's the song? That's going to really bug me. Anyway, wishes are nothing unless you follow them up with actions. This is telling me that whatever's going on in your life, my darling, is a lot of wishful thinking. So we'll see exactly what the cards say. When we get a card flip, we stop the... Thank you, Holland! Oh, I wish I was a punk rocker with flowers in my hair. How many punk rockers had flowers in their hair? Do you know what I mean? It's almost, I wish I was a folk singer with flowers in my hair. Good evening, Melinda Brown, my sister from a different mister. Or my Third card's in, 15 times removed. We've got the Four of Pentacles, where you are right now. Stability. We have the Two of Pentacles reversed in what you need to know. And the Eight, that's interesting, because I saw this card as I was shuffling. This card almost came out. Now that's interesting. The Eight of Wands. Right then, my darling. So let's have a look. The Four of Pentacles. Fours for me are all about stability, station keeping, same old, same old. So there's a lot of that. Nothing really changes. A lot of static energy around you at the moment. This is in terms of work, career, finances, but also growth. So the thing is, you're asking specifically, is the Leo going to reach out to you? I think unless you 100% make it clear that that's what you want, I don't think they will, right? If you keep doing the same thing, this is that alleged Einstein quote, which is, if you keep doing, what is it? The definition of insanity is to keep doing the same thing and expect a different outcome. This feels like that. This feels like if you keep doing what you're doing, it's just going to be a wish. That Leo M, whether that means the Leo male or Leo called M, or whether it's, you know, the person's name is Leo, I don't know. But whatever it is, it absolutely feels like you need to make some changes, otherwise nothing is going to happen. This wish card, this star card, you might as well go out, star bright, starlight, first star I see tonight, wish I want, I wish I may my wish come true someday. You say your wish. But if that's all you're doing and you're not putting any actual work in, then it's like manifesting, right? Manifesting is great, but you've got to put those steps in and work towards manifesting something. You can't manifest change if you're making the same things and doing the same things that you've always done. Does that make sense? You've got to put that change in. If everything is the same, if everything is, you know, station keeping, everything is exactly the same moving forward and nothing is changing, then okay, it's stable, but then nothing's changing. In what you need to know, we've got the Two of Pentacles. So again, finances or growth, twos would relate to couples. So the twos would absolutely talk about, you know, two become one, two people coming together, partnerships, couples, all of that energy comes in with the twos. However, this is reversed. This is absolutely reversed, Michelle. So this is saying that, if anything, I don't know whether you two have split. I don't know whether you two are just not actively together. It feels like what you need to know is that this connection is almost broken, right? If that connection is broken and you do nothing, it's not going to magically fix itself, right? If you've got a broken arm, no, that's a bad example because bones do mend themselves. If you've got a piece of jewelry that's snapped, right? If you do nothing with it, it's always going to be a snapped piece of jewelry. If you've got a necklace and one of the links has broken, it's always just going to be a long chain of thread. It's never going to link back up. It's never going to be a necklace. It's just going to be a long link of silver, you know, links, isn't it? It's going to be a chain. It isn't going to be a necklace because you need to repair it. You need to put that work in and put it back together. This feels like that. If you need to, if you and Leo if you want to be with Leo in that way, you need to repair those links in that chain. Does that make sense? You need to repair that jewelry. Otherwise, you've just got a random long line of silver links that are linked together, sat in a jewelry box. It's just a broken chain. Moving forward, the Eight of Wands. Wands is all about security, self-confidence, how you see yourself, all of those lovely things, right? It comes from security, that idea of how secure you are. Sometimes it can mean bricks and mortar home, things like that. For me, we talk about confidence, we talk about that connection. This 100%, my darling, everything is up in the air, right? Your confidence, how you see yourself, how the Leo M sees themselves, whatever that connection is. It is all up in the air. You have to move forward. Sod is Leo reaching out to you. You need to do that work. You need to reach out to Leo. If you want a connection with that Leo, if you've been together and broken up, you need to put the repair work in. You need to get that chain fixed in that necklace, unless if this relationship was toxic, and if it used a bus or a sieve, if you get what I'm saying, maybe the mods can type that word in the chat. I can't say it on the YouTubes, but if it was a bus or sieve, if that was the toxic relationship, if it was anything to do with that, and you got out of that situation for your own safety, then stay out of it. Safety first, okay? That is the only caveat to that. If the relationship came apart just because it went a bit off the rails, or because it went a bit, you know, you lost interest, or nobody was doing anything and it wasn't really, you know, how can I say, if it was friends with benefits and it wasn't really anything else, but you wanted it to be something else, you've got to speak up, right? That is what I would say, because this feels like it feels like there is a work or financial element into play here, but because this is reversed, it feels like maybe people don't necessarily get, or maybe you two didn't actually necessarily get together in that way that you both wanted. This 8 though, everything is up in the air, right? Everything is up in the air. This is your opportunity. It will take confidence. I'm not saying that the Leo is sat there waiting and pining for you, but I think this card more than anything else is saying, look, you at least need to have a conversation, because all this wishing ain't doing you nothing. You can sit there every single night and say your lovely little prayer. You know, what is it they say? Bless mummy, bless daddy, and please bring the Leo M back to me. Thank you. Okay. What's that done? Nothing, because we've got free will. You've got to reach out. Maybe Leo doesn't understand that you're into them. Maybe you've got to physically go, hello, Leo. Fancy a quickie? Do you know what I mean? If you know, you know. Anyway, I hope that helps, my darling. That star card, as soon as it came up, it was like, oh no, hang on, I'm going to pull you. I'll pull you an intuitive one as well. But as soon as that star card came up, it was like, yep, I know what this is trying to tell me. Let's put the cards back into a random position in the deck. There we go. And for those of you out there that sometimes think tarot readers know where cards are, it's like, what is it, card sharps, whatever. You know, those people that go into casinos and memorize where everything is. I don't even remember my own name half the bloody time with my ADHD, let alone remember where cards are. Right then, so we'll pull you, Michelle, a doodah Intuitive Insights Oracle card. There we go. So we're going to, why can't I pick anything up today? There we go, that one there, which is Temptation. Ooh. Temptation. What is the temptation? Is this temptation that Leo is tempting you? Is this that? Are you being tempted? Or is this telling you that you need to be a temptress? You need to be like, oh, Leo, hi. Am I tempting you? Come. No, don't say those words, Lisa. That sounded very wrong. I was going to say, come taste my apple pie. But I literally meant like a baked apple pie that, you know, in a cartoon, you've got the baked apple pie and you've got all of that lovely smell. And then Tom smells it from all the way down and Jerry ends up smelling it, and they both like float on the steam and the smell, and then they fight over the apple pie. You know what I mean? Like Tom and Jerry videos, right? That's what I meant, but it sounded very rude. But temptation. What is the temptation here for you and Leo M? I hope that helps, my darling. Thank you very much for your question. And yeah, action, not wishes. A wish is only good if you're going to put it into action. Make a wish a goal. There you go. That's what it should say. Right, let's have a look in that there chat. It makes sense. Okay, that's grand. I don't know what it makes sense, but it makes sense. Good evening, M. Grace. How are you, my darling? I hope you are well. Makes sense. Yeah. Thank you for taking your question. No problem, my darling. You can't believe it's dark for 8 o'clock already. Where did the summer go? Do you not remember? It was those 2 days in the end of June, beginning of July. Do you not remember? Do you not remember? I was warm in here and I had the fan on. Do you not remember that day? It's gone. Went very quickly, didn't it? Summer's flown past and a definite nip in the air. I love it. I love it. When you get crispness starts. It started for us about 3 weeks ago. I said to Rufus, autumn's coming. He went, how do you know? I said, I can feel it in the air. I can feel it in the air. It's scary times, is it? Why is it scary times? You love the colours of autumn, but for you it's the way the light changes when the sun goes lower. No, I hate that. That's one of the things I hate, because my eyesight is very light sensitive, and unfortunately when the sun is lower in the sky I really, really struggle. This is the time of year I need sunglasses more than the height of summer. I need them in autumn. I really, really do. I wonder what that was there, but look, it's my little gold thing reflecting. You spend a lot of time in the kitchen, and before long you'll be saying, heck, 3 p.m. and dark, but age makes times for what? Fly. Come December 21st, it will start to lighten. It will do. We're not there yet. It's getting close though. You were mostly friends. Were you? Friends with benefits, maybe. Friends with benefits, maybe, Michelle. Ooh, that 2 reverse, that isn't a friendship. There's something else there. There was something else going on. Good evening, Melinda. Thank you all for your positive and healing vibes. Have I missed something? You don't really like the low, bright sun, but you love all the colours of sunset and rise, and the sun sets and rises over the sea. Oh, yes, because you're in a lovely place. It always goes darker quicker than it becomes lighter. It really does. Dormouse is in northeast Scotland. That was so bad. That was so bad. Is M wishing for you? No. You're wishing for M. You need to crack on. You just found this channel and you're loving it, Anna. Thank you, my darling. That is lovely to hear. Oh gosh, hang on. We've jumped. It's a wonderful place. Everybody welcoming, and the mods are awesome. The mods are awesome. Absolutely. How does it work? I probably of the mods. There you go. The mods have already put it in the chat, my darling. That's really kind of you. Thank you to the mods. The donation is here on YouTube. Yeah, absolutely. You can send it through as a super chat, or as Ed says, there you go. It's the $sign next to where you type. Yeah, thank you very much. Hang on, let me go back in the chat to see where Melinda is. Your surgery is tomorrow morning and you will stay in hospital until Tuesday evening. You should be discharged, you hope. Right, okay. Do I still have Tank's sound on here? I don't think I do. I will send you over the Green Dragon. Okay, I will send you over the Green Dragon, my darling, to No, I don't want any of that to play. I will send you over the Green Dragon known on this channel as Tank, who is very, very good with surgeries and healing. I will send him over to you to, in fact, go on, we'll play. We'll send him to your surgeons for surgery time. Okay, I will do that in the morning for you. So yeah, I will do that for you, Melinda. I hope everything goes well. Fingers crossed, my darling. Yep, absolutely. Right then, we are going to open a round very, very shortly. Before I do, I want to click on, oh, come on, fingers. Right, we're going to click on this.
Lisa is such a good tarot reader. I've experienced that for myself because Lisa's read for me quite a few times. But as a mod on her channel, I've also seen loads of times when people have said things like, oh yeah, that really resonates, or that's exactly it, you've hit the nail on the head. And because she doesn't sugarcoat, she just tells it like it is. It can really be quite an emotional and cathartic experience because they're not just being told what they want to hear, they're being told, as she says it, what you need to know. So I definitely recommend her. It's a really good idea to sign up for one of her memberships because they're such good value. You can be part of private live streams that take place before the main ones. And then you're in a much smaller group of people, so you're not competing with all these other people to get a reading. And it's also just a chance to chat with other like-minded people who have that kind of spirituality.
Absolutely. We love the members here on the channel. We've got a very small group of members who help fund the editing and all of that other stuff that we do. Obviously, we donate 20% of the money that comes through to us. Once YouTube takes its cut, we donate 20% to the two charities I mentioned earlier. But the members only live streams are probably my favorite part of this channel, because not only do I get to hang out with some incredibly kind and caring folk, but also on the last Friday of the month when we do our members only Friday night natter, it goes on for ages. I love it. It's like having you all in my house having a cup of tea and a sandwich together. Not that I can eat sandwiches, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Right then, I think it is time. Let's go ahead and do the doodah. So the round is open. If you would like a tarot reading, please do pop your question in the live chat, starting with the word question. One of those will get selected at random, or of course, send it through as a super chat if you want to guarantee your place, your reading is up next. Don't forget, every super chat of £8 or $10 US or above gets a longer reading. In case you've missed all of that, here's the details. Ask your question now. Send your question as a super chat to guarantee your 3-card reading is next. Donations of $10 or £8 or over will receive a longer 6 or 7 card reading. To try for a free reading, write your question in the live chat starting with the word question. If no super chats come in, a free question will be chosen at random. And if you need help, just ask one of our mods. Okay, thank you very much to the keeper of the questions, M. Grace. M. Grace, my darling, your question is up. So then, let's transition across. And as always, we cleanse the energy. Shall I do a sassy cleanse? I don't know why a sassy cleanse means I bounce my boobies up and down, but there you go. We give it a good old ding-a-ling-a-ling, and we bring in Wispy, and yay, as I say, Wispy is my elemental air dragon connecting to the Akashic Records. There's a whole podcast episode all about Wispy. I'll put the link in the chat there. I will also say, though, me and Neil have got plans for some more podcasts coming up very, very soon. So do please have keep an eye out for that. Teresa, you've typed it in afterwards again. I'm wondering whether you need to refresh. I think you might need to refresh on the doodah, my darling. Hit the refresh button, the little round wheelie thing, and just refresh, because I think you might be a few seconds behind in the chat, which is probably why your messages are coming through after it's already been the next reading's already been selected. So yeah, just do that, my darling. Just hit that refresh. Right then, so let me just, you know what, one of these days I'm going to start a stream and be very happy where everything sits and not have to have these move positions. There we go. Right then, so Wispy, my darling, M. Grace wants to know, what does Spirit want them to know in their love life? Does Spirit have any messages for M. Grace to do with romance? Love and marriage go together like a horse and carriage. Something else is something. You can't have one without the other. Do boop. You can have love and marriage without marriage. Of course you can. Of course you can. You can have marriage without love. I know many couples who are in that situation. I really do. I really do. Right then, here we go. We do your drop and let's get the cards on. Nobody's had a long reading today. Nobody's sent the £8 or $10 for the long 7-card reading. So that's, well, that's a thing. Right then, so what does Spirit want to know in your love life? I think you are ready. I think you are ready. I think you've asked this question before, haven't you, M. Grace? And I think very much the overriding feeling before was that maybe it wasn't the right time. You had some more work to do. I think that is right. I think that's for some reason my brain is telling me that is the vibe I get from previous readings. Again, I don't remember the readings that I've done after so many years. It's difficult for me to remember any readings because I've trained myself not to. Otherwise, you wake up in the middle of the night going, oh, I could also say this to you, and I wonder if this has happened, and so in the first few years I was learning, sort of, certainly in the first couple of years, which is 30 odd years ago now, I learnt that skill very, very quickly to not retain the knowledge. Anywho, where you are right now, we've got the 8 of Cups. Cups is your emotional suit, so this is your love life. And the 8s are all about the journey to the 9, the journey moving forward, putting the past behind you and looking towards the next steps. Okay, this is saying you are 100% ready to move forward. So much so you haven't even stacked these wine goblets up properly. You've just gone, I'm off, right? You haven't even laid these out. You've just decided you need to move on, you need to crack on, and the universe is telling you absolutely you need to move now, if that makes sense. You need to just move forward and keep looking to the future. Do not look back. That's the way to go. What you need to know, we've got familial, destiny, histories. This is the Pentacles is all about career, work, finances and growth. This is also about familial growth, ancestral growth and legacy. Okay, now what do I mean by that? I mean that the 10 is overflowing in abundance, right? Now that abundance could be that this is about it could be that this is about a financial boost, but because you're asking specifically about your love life, it feels like there may well be an opportunity for a friend of a friend or a friend of a family member or something to come into your life along those lines, where it's something like, you know, your auntie knows somebody that is single and basically says, oh, so you know how, you know, when you were little, you know, Mrs. Williams' daughter used to babysit for you. Well, you know, like there was an older brother. Well, that older brother has just got a divorce and is now happily, freely single. And and he was asking about you the other day. Do you know what I mean? It's almost like something like that. There is this sort of weird connection going on, and it feels like it could be somehow connected to family, right? This is in the what you need to know. So or it could be if there's a family party coming up, because sometimes this can relate to that, because it looks like we've got multiple generations of the same family. Is this at a wedding? Is this at a birthday? Is this at an anniversary celebration? Whatever this is, if there is a family event coming up, Grace, then it feels like that could be an interesting time for you to keep your feelers out to see if there are any interesting vibes out there. The 7 is saying in the what's to come, sorry, I've got a little bit of seed or something stuck on my between my teeth there. It's done. The 7 of Cups is saying that there is going to be some choices ahead for you. Might not be the most favourable choices. It might be choosing between, you know, the devil and the deep blue sea, so to speak. But there will be some emotional choices to come. So it could be that, you know, there's somebody you like, but maybe that person is in a different county, state. I'm not sure whereabouts you are in the world. I think you might be American. So maybe that is, you know, in a different state to you, or in a different city. Maybe there's some things there around that. Maybe somebody that you're interested in is, you know, older than your usual thing, or maybe they've got children and that was always off the table for you before, or, you know, whatever it may be. It feels like there is something here that you will be making decisions about, if that makes sense. You'll be making choices about in the months to come. Bearing in mind, I only see a couple of months down the line. This is also going to be one of those choices, one of those decisions where it's almost like, how can I put it? Right, okay, I'll put it like this. Say, for instance, right, you go to this family this lovely party, and you meet 2 guys there, one called Bill and one called Ben, and they're both lovely in very different ways, and they're both interested in you. You know, one's a doctor, one's a lawyer, one's divorced with no kids, one's separated, or no, one, you know, has 2 kids but never married the mum. They just, you know, whatever the situation is, you've got 2 eligible bachelors, right? Who, can you be a bachelor if you were divorced? Anyway, two people that you meet that you're interested in, both with very different lives, very different people, but you're equally interested in both. This 7 of Cups is going to be that thing where you have to kind of work out which of these 2 people you want to be with. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not saying it's between 2, and I'm not saying it's going to be that, you know, oh, I've got to make this decision. But there is going to be some sort of choice that you have to make that is going to feel like whatever you choose, you've got FOMO for the one that you don't choose. Does that make sense? It does feel as if this is all connected to whatever this 10 of Pentacles represents, whatever this party, whatever this celebration is. It's that you need to look at. I hope that helps, my darling. Let me go ahead and pull you a intuitive oracle card. By the way, I'm sorry, every time I move this deck I keep hitting the springy thing on the microphone stand, so apologies for that. Let's pull you one of these. I love this little deck. I'm not quite sure why it's coffin shaped, but you know, suits my spooky vibe and my spooky Halloween, you know, love, if that makes sense. Right then, hard work. It's going to take hard work. It's going to take hard work. Whatever this is, whatever this choice is, it's going to take hard work. So it feels like the universe is giving you opportunities for romance, right? But you're gonna have to work for it. You're gonna have to make difficult choices and decide how important your romantic life is to you, and what you're willing to change, and what you're willing to, you know, what changes you're willing to make, and what choices you're willing to make in order to have that relationship, right? You're going to be tested on this. This hard work, it's not going to be, oh my God, immediately off you go and you meet, you know, the one. It's not going to be that cut and dried. There's going to be more decision making, more choice, more growth through that. I hope that helps, my darling. I really do. Thank you ever so much for your question. Right, let us know how it goes, M. Grace. Let us know how it goes, because we're all nosy here, and we're still waiting for the first Beyond Authentic wedding that we get invites to. Okay, no, we don't have to come manually, like physically, no, in person. We can do it via Zoom. You know, you can see my lovely wedding hat via Zoom as clear as you can when I'm there in person. So we don't need actual invites, but we are waiting for that incredible Beyond Authentic wedding. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. Right, I believe we've had a super chat come in. Right, let me have a look. Melinda, thank you very much. A general reading, and will DDJ and his relatives and friends leave you alone? I saw a thing. Yeah, your reading is absolutely next, my darling. Yeah, the refresh button is a arrow in a circle, normally on the top left. So yeah, do have a look out for that, Teresa. While you're away during your hospital stay, when they will come mess with your vehicle, property, or worse. Who will? M. Grace, you're with someone who plans to leave for a master's degree in the Netherlands. What did I say about moving city or county? It's another country. You may have to go with. You may have to go with. Your choice, but you may have to go with. If that relationship is so important to you, M. Grace, you might have to go with. That's the decision. Wow. Okay. There you go. Melinda, you have an order of protection on DDJ, but now his uncle keeps passing by your house and you tried making a police report, but they said he isn't doing anything illegal. It's a public road. Okay, just keep reporting. Bill and Ben are the names of your hard drives. You feel sorry for them having names like E. I know, right? That is very true. Is it just you that has the theme of Bill and Ben going around your head? I don't know what the theme is. You're already making plans on how it will work, M. Grace. That's it then. You need to do that. You need to keep doing it. You've got Bill and Ben in your head as well. Don't forget Little Weed or the Gardener. Okay, don't know what all of that's about. Right then, so Melinda, we are going to do your cleanse. And we're going to bring in Wispy. So there we go. Right. We've got Bill, Ben and Bob on our Slimland in our Lego, our named characters. So there's going to be some named characters in our Lego series on the other channel that will have storylines that will relate to healthy eating and weight loss and all of that. So some of the Lego characters are characters, and some of them are just going to be random people that change each week and get weighed in and stuff. So it's going to be fun. I'm also redoing the animations that I did for the mods for this channel, because I found an app that will animate them much better. So I'm going to be using that as well. So then, Wispy. You can tell Wispy knows I'm not paying attention, can't you? Wispy, Melinda Brown wants a question. Do we do the Traveller's Path? No, we're doing an inverted V, an inverted triangle, otherwise known as the V. Right, Wispy, inverted V, inverted triangle for Melinda Brown. Gosh. Right, let's have a look. We want a general reading for Melinda. Will DDJ and his relatives and friends leave Melinda alone. Oh, mods. I haven't got Bill and Ben and blah, 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 but I do have We're Off to Button Moon. We follow Mr. Spoon, Button Moon, Button Moon. Right, Melinda, your general reading. Wispy, inverted triangle with the base first. We go where you are, what you need to know, and the outcome. Right, now I'm saying this for the purposes of everybody else, not just for Melinda, because I know that Melinda knows it. One of the cards that has just fallen is the Death card. Now, this does not mean death. It does not mean somebody is going to snuff it. It doesn't mean somebody is going to pass away, pass over, you know, no longer be around, leave this mortal coil, kick the bucket, any of that. It doesn't mean that. This is the end of a cycle, right? It's a major arcana card. There's actually another one here as well. It's a major arcana card, and what this is talking about is a big shift, a big change. Okay, it is not meaning somebody is going to no longer be on this mortal plane, right? Does not mean that. That doesn't mean Melinda's going to pass across. It doesn't mean DDJ or his relatives or friends are going to pass across. It doesn't mean any of that. It is simply the end of a cycle. If you get a tarot reading and the Death card comes up, that's what it means. Likewise, the Devil card doesn't mean that old Nick, old Beelzebub himself, old Scratch is going to come along and start dragging your soul down to hell. It doesn't mean any of that. Okay, tarot is a nuanced and a very intricate tool, and the cards are never that straightforward. There we go. Right then, so I know you know that, Melinda, but just in case someone else is going, oh my god, flaming Nora, oh, I don't know why I made it sound like everybody speaks as crows. Right then, let's have a look. So, 3 of Swords coming in strong for where you are right now. This is, you have broken DDJ's heart, my darling. They are heartbroken. Boo-hoo. How could you? Yeah. I don't think this is talking about DDJ being heartbroken. I think they're miffed that you have moved on. That's the root of this. I think that if we look at the card, I hope that is just makeup that has run. However, the staining on the shirt would suggest otherwise. I think you're right to be concerned. I don't think you have to be paranoid. But I do think you have to be concerned, if that makes sense. I would go back to the police and maybe speak to if there was any type of DV involved, speak to whichever officers there deal with that. Or if you suspect that that could come in the future, because things will get then logged, right? And I think you need to log everything. I do think you need to log everything. This card is probably much deeper than 13, because this does really, really, really scream at me that you need to be aware, not paranoid, but just aware, because it does feel as if you've got out of a situation that could have been a lot worse, if that makes sense. And I think you got out at the right time. It just is that you got away, and DDJ doesn't like, what's the quote? I just don't like anyone else playing with my toys. What's that from? What's that from? I can't remember. It will come to me. Where you are now, my darling, we've got the 5 of Pentacles reversed. There's something here about money. And there's something here about... Give me that again, Wispy. Okay, I think you need to ask for support here with something. If that means asking for a family member to come and stay in the property, for whatever reason, if it was this way up, I'd be mentioning the word charity. And I don't think you want to speak out to a charity, if that makes sense. But it does feel that you need to do something like that. You need to speak to someone, something to do with charity. I don't know what that charity would be. It could be that it is to get some support for the potential DV element that's coming into play here, because I do think that you were very... I think you got out at exactly the right time. If that was in play, then I do think that you... I think you had a strong escape when you did, if that makes sense. The Hierophant coming in, this is that guru figure. You absolutely need to speak to somebody who knows more, whether that is a teacher, a lawyer, a lawyer, a carer, somebody in a position of authority about this. I think you absolutely 100% need to get this logged. You need to get some advice, and I would say to do it tonight or first thing in the morning. You absolutely need to be able to speak, get some advice on this, right? Get some advice on this. The Hierophant is that guru energy, that teacher, that that almost that religious teacher thing, if that makes sense. That sort of priest, what's the other word for them? Vicar, no. Oh my gosh. I can't remember, but there's a word. There's a word. Anyway, I can't remember who the blooming hell that is relating to. It's not a lay preacher. It's the somebody within a church setting, or some leader somewhere you need to speak to. Whatever that means for you, there is somebody in your life who will fulfill that role of a learned teacher, a guru, a scientist, a counselor. You need to speak to that person and get something noted, right? Between the 3 and the 5, you've got this massive time of change. I think you are very lucky to get out of it, because this big change is like, this big change, I don't think DDJ has had to deal with this before. It is right for you. You are going to move forward in a much, much better way. It is much better to be here and out of it than you were in it, but this is such a significant change. It's going to take a while for it to shift out, if that makes sense. It's going to take a while for those ripples to calm down in your life, and certainly in DDJ's. I don't think they will leave you alone initially. I think there will still be some trolling, bullying. There's going to be an element of that. There's going to be an element of that is still in play. You are going to need some advice. You are going to need some you are going to need some support on this, from a professional perspective. Okay, I know you've got an injunction or whatever it is in play. They aren't really going to listen too much to that. Could even be lawyer here. Whoever this person is, it's advice that you need to take. You've got the 7 of Wands coming up, and this is connecting the 5 to the Hierophant, and I think this is absolutely 100% about you having your confidence knocked, and this is what DDJ is trying to do. They're trying to undermine you, right? They're trying to knock your confidence. They're trying to hit out at all of this. You can't let them. You can't let them, because that is what their end game is. Their goal here is to be dicks, basically, for want of a better term, and you're just going to have to rise above it. You're just going to have to keep a diary of every single incident so you can show a pattern, and deal with it that way. I don't think it's going to be a simple case of you've got the restraining order, that's it, they've gone. I think it's going to be a bit of a kerfuffle. You've got the 6 of Wands coming in reversed as the base. Now, don't worry too much about the fact that this is showing a wheelchair, and with all your medical stuff going on, it's not necessarily saying that is an omen, but what it is talking about, the 6 of Wands, 6s are about community, and Wands is about your confidence, right? I think you need to bring other people around you right now. I think you need family and friends in your corner and helping to support you dealing with this relationship fallout, right? That's what I think you need. Whether that is family, whether that is your friends, I think you need these people in your life, in your corner, and you need them to have your back, so that it isn't just, you know, you dealing with idiots turning up and trying to troll and, you know, annoy. And there's another word which is, it begins with A, that my brain is not finding, but they're I can't get the word. It's right on the tip of my tongue. It's really annoying me. But whatever they're doing, I don't think it's going to end very, very soon, right? I really don't. I think you need to get some advice. You need to seek out whatever this professional is, and you need to go by their playbook. So I would absolutely 100% contact a stalking charity or a DV charity or somebody that knows how to offer you the advice that you need to get this, to get yourself protected. I don't think it's going to be a case of they're going to have a whole massive war against you. I don't think it's going to be like, they're not going to break into your house or anything like that. But that low level aggression, that low level grind you down, that feels like it could be a pattern, and that's what you need to get monitored and basically logged and get advice over, right? I really think that's what you need. If we take this out of the equation, we've got this heartbreak card that's coming into play. So this relationship ending, causing this real fundamental shift, this rebirth, this death card, this end of this cycle is so important. It's like that. I think you have got your life back together in a way from that, but it really does feel as if DDJ has been threatened. It's almost like you threatened his manhood in a way, which is leading you now this base to seek that support, to seek that network, to seek that community. I think you need that as much as you don't want to reach out. You need it, right? Especially with the physical limitations that you've got, you absolutely need those people around you. You're not going to feel comfortable doing that because it's a choice, and you are going to have to admit vulnerabilities. You are going to have to, you know, make some difficult choices as to what is right for you in terms of feeling more confident as you recover from the surgeries and everything else. And I do think you absolutely need to get professional bodies involved. You need to seek out this advice from whoever you would consider to be your guru, your wise person, the person that you go to for advice in this situation, right? Your hierophant, your church leader, your community spokesperson, your, you know, DV charity head, whoever it is, whoever in your life has the experience of dealing with dodgy relationships like this, you need to go and seek that advice and do it sooner rather than later. Get things noted, get things monitored, make sure your cameras are always working, your batteries are charged. I've got blink cameras as well, and this is reminding me I need to change the battery in the one on my door. But back it all up, pay for that little extra bit to get it backed up to the cloud, you know, do all of those things. I think there is a line between being paranoid and not living your life and being responsible and safe. And I think you need to stay on that responsible and safe, but that does mean taking some necessary precautions. I hope that helps, my darling. Listen, huge best of luck for the surgery. I've got the strongest feeling that you will come out of that. You know, you're not going to have anything seriously negative happen for the surgery. I've got a feeling that things will be better. I really hope that they are better. I'm going to pull you the very last Intuitive Insight Oracle card. Here we go, and we are pulling the blessings. Okay, things are going to go okay. Blessings are coming your way, my darling. Blessings are coming your way. Blessings are coming your way. That's really good. The cloud has that silver lining. The clouds will part. The sun will shine. Things will improve, my darling. I'm so pleased that came out. I'm so pleased that came out, Melinda. Things will improve for you, my sweet. They absolutely will improve. Have confidence. Have confidence. Best of luck for the surgery. I mean that. I will happily send you Tank to help with the surgeons. He's very, very good at helping to guide the surgeon's hands and things like that, to get the best possible outcome through surgeries. That's actually what Tank was hived off from Rocky to do. So then, my darling, thank you ever so much for your question. Thank you for your donation. You can ask the police to drive by your house. There's more than just police. There's somebody else. Speak to. There will be a charity or something near you for relationships that are sour or, you know, in that toxic sort of way. You need to reach out and get some advice on how you would deal, how you monitor, how you track what's been happening. Yes, get the police out to your house, but more than that, what else can you do to protect yourself without tearing over into paranoia? There is more that you can do. I hope that helps, my darling. I really, really, really do. And I will see you very soon on another live. And that's it from me today, everybody. Thank you so much for coming today. I've really enjoyed tonight's stream. Thank you so much to all of you who asked questions. Sorry for those of you who didn't get a chance to get your reading. I'll be back next Sunday at 7 p.m. till 9 p.m. UK time. Don't forget, I believe the clocks are going back or forward or whatever they do at some point very soon. And as I say, I will see you again next week. And as I always say, stay you, stay true, stay authentic. Thank you to the mods. You're all a bunch of amazing people and I love you all. Thank you to the members and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.